What's going on, guys, and welcome to Game of the Month for June, the show where we pick a game at random and play it throughout the month, and at the end of the month we talk about it. This month we actually had somebody get drawn. We have a new system where people get their name drawn and they get to pick a game, and Chris picked Warframe. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And before we jump into our discussion on Warframe that we played throughout the month, let's pick our game for July.
Okay. The game is Earth Defense Force 4.1.
Fuck yeah. I'm excited about that. I actually played that like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, this game's dope.
Nice.
So I'm in the right mindset for that. So we'll have to get Chris to play it somehow, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm sure it's on sale and stuff like that now.
Probably.
So we'll figure that out. But yeah, we'll be playing Earth Defense Force. Isn't there more to that name? 20-something, something?
It's called 4.1. Yeah.
4.1, yeah. It's on PS4. It's on, I think, most things. So make sure to play that. If you don't know what it is, it's a third-person action game where there's like 4 classes and you fight a lot of fucking giant bugs in a crazy big environment where buildings are destructible. I streamed it and people were like, Seth, what is this game? And I was like, it's dope. That's what it is. So yeah, we'll be playing that next month. Very excited for that. And yeah. Quick reminder as well that we're going to a new month, so our games for PlayStation Plus will be Heavy Rain and Absolver. Make sure to play those, come back at the end of the month. For Plus Club, we'll talk about those. Let us know what you think of them as well. I'm pretty excited to try out Absolver. This is a game that I wanted to play for a long time, but when I found out it was purely competitive at the time, I was like, I'll wait and see if they add something to it. Heavy Rain, more David Cage. I've been playing a lot of David Cage lately, so we'll see how that goes. And if you missed Plus Club Friday, make sure to go back and watch, or Friday, go back and watch that.
Last week.
Yeah. Got a lot of views on that. If you were watching us and you saw the post on Reddit, welcome to the channel. We got like 4 or 5 subscribers from that so far, and like a bunch of comments over on Reddit. So always appreciate that conversation. But I'm wasting a lot of time talking forever because I feel lightheaded from being sick all week. Let's talk about Warframe. Now, if you didn't get a chance to play Warframe, you should go and play it anyway right now because it's a free-to-play game. It's on everything, and I think it is the pinnacle and best example of what free-to-play games can be. What Warframe is a game where you start as one of 3 frames. I think that's still the system now, and you do missions, third-person action, stealth action sometimes, on multiple planets, and you accrue a lot of shit to build a large number of other what they call warframes that all have their own attributes and skills and visual styles, and you essentially the whole game is you're crafting new warframes, new weapons, pets, and decorative stuff for your ship while, running around killing a lot of shit. Has an interesting storyline that they're finally fleshing out, it seems like, in the last year and a half, which has been kind of interesting. Actually very interesting. I'm undercutting that because they've been doing a very good job. And it's been an interesting experience to watch Warframe grow into what it's become. Because we played in the alpha when it was first released to anybody that they could try it on PC. And it was essentially Left 4 Dead in space, which I was for because I love Left 4 Dead. And now it has become borderline an MMO. We've always called it a faux MMO. It's getting really close to just being an MMO. I think a lot of people just make the case that it is one. But me and you are a little more particular on what we call MMO and what we call a faux MMO.
Right.
But it's the same line as a hub-based Fantasy Star or Vindictus, something like that.
For sure.
So yeah, I've said a lot of things. Let's jump into our impressions. Now, like I said before, me and you and Chris is supposed to be here. We will have him tell us his impressions and his grade whenever we get a hold of him. But yeah, we have a long history in playing this game. So when we talk about our impressions, let's talk about pretty much what our impressions are as of now. Coming back to it. I mean, you took a long break. So yeah, what were you feeling coming back to it?
Well, initially overwhelmed because I had been gone for almost 2 years, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things I had to kind of readjust to. Now, fortunately, this game is really good about I guess the expression, it's like riding a bike.
Oh yeah.
Within doing 1 to 2 missions, I was right at home again, which is great. I don't know any of the metas or anything like that these days, so like I'm out of touch in that regard. But I started playing catch up mostly on stories, and it feels great. And the new stuff I did get to see, I checked out the Plains Eidolon. I didn't get to try that when it first came out. I just, like I said, I'd been gone for a while. I can't remember the name of the quest. I finished Limbo Theorem finally, though it bugged out on me. So I have a support ticket in with DE right now.
What happened?
Well, I got the frame, so that's not the problem. So I'm not like super like, oh my God, but the quest won't be, it's not marked as completed.
Oh,
so
that would annoy the fuck out of me.
What else did I do? I did the Nidus quest line, the Last Gambit, and I did Octavia's Anthem. So
what'd you think of that mission?
I think it was this close to being really awesome.
Yeah.
The only part about it I didn't like was the enemy spawn rate towards the end of it was kind of rough.
Yeah. It bugged for me, which drove me nuts.
Oh yeah, I didn't have that.
So there's an endpoint. Well, it might be a spoiler, but without telling you the storyline, there's a part where you have to be hitting notes to
platforming, essentially.
Platforming on these platforms to be turning on and off positive notes and negative notes. Essentially, there's red ones that are bad and white ones that are good. And so when you're canceling out the red ones, you need them all off. And so I went around the ring like 4 times, and I got all the red ones the first time and all the white ones the first time. But then I just kept running around. And every once in a while, they'd be like, "Operator, you gotta turn those reds off." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "I did." And I keep running around. I'm looking very intricately. I'm like, where is it? So I was like, okay, I realized when he fell off every once in a while, it would like, to punish you, I guess, like reset some of the reds. So I jumped off. And then when it came back, I'm looking around, it didn't do it. But as I'm looking like particularly, I saw a little bit of red just kind of coming out of one of the platforms, like maybe that high out of it. So it bugged into the platform. Yeah. And I was like, fuck. And like, I was like, how many of those are like that? And I ran over and touched it, and that was the last one.
Nice.
I was like, fuck. Okay. So that kind of ruined some of that, but I thought the storyline of it was kind of interesting to see Ortis be more than what he's been for so fucking long.
Yeah. Well, it is neat that doing a Cephalon-based thing as well.
Yeah.
So.
And if we're talking about old stuff that you guys got past a long time ago, like I said, we've been out of the mix for a while. So this is just us kind of talking about what we
came back to, essentially. So
I just want to reemphasize that, where they're like, why the fuck are they talking about that old shit?
Let's see, what else I got. The personal room. I went ahead and used some of my plat to buy some decorations for that, because I'm a sucker for that stuff. So I got some floating trees in my room. And
Noggles.
Then I have a Noggle shelf, posters on the walls and stuff.
I don't got room for Noggles anymore.
And then the centerpiece, I went ahead and I bought the aquarium, so I have to go to Plains Eidolon and start catching fish.
How do you unlock the room?
It's a key you got when you logged in, so you just need to look in your recipes and
okay.
I think you need an Argon crystal.
That sucks, because I'm like, and I'll get into it when I get into my impressions, but this game is one of the only games that exists, not even just for free to play games, but games in general, that I'm more than okay with giving them money. Like, I want to give them money. It's weird because I have such a loyalty to DE. So like, if there's another reason for me to be buying things from them with that room, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah, the trees are really neat. I also bought a bed for my can't remember what they're actually called, but the cats. And so the cat will come in there and it'll like hop on the bed and fall asleep or whatever, and like a little toy for it to play with and stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's pretty neat. I haven't tried any of the new weapons, and out of the frame quests I did, it seems like they've changed it up a little bit, because I remember before, when you'd complete a quest, like when I'm doing Limbo Theorem, it was giving me the blueprint parts, and it seems like with Nidus and Octavia, it was like, here's the blueprint to make the frame, but all the parts you still have to go find. So I got to go farm those now. And that's pretty much all I've dabbled in at in this point. The one thing that did annoy me, and everyone probably went through this, but when they reset the focus tree, they didn't refund focus points. That hurt. So.
Oh, dude, no, coming back. Okay, so I haven't been gone for like 2 years. Like, I played the game like about, I don't know, 4 months ago. Whenever Plains of Eidolon came out, which is more than 4 months ago, but I think that was around, it was like a month after that, I got back into it for a little bit. But as when they reset all the focus stuff, they reset that, so my progress is gone. I'm sure a lot of people bitched about that, but I can get past that. But then apparently they refunded certain things. What was the focus? Lenses. Apparently they refunded the lenses to people. I didn't get those. So I lost, progress. So that was kind of like, I was like, oh, fuck. I really like Plains of Eidolon, but I do feel like I kind of got fucked. I probably should have like hit them up with a support tick or something like that, but I didn't. So that was probably one of the big reasons why I didn't continue playing until now.
Yeah. So I guess to summarize, as far as impressions go, if you are a viewer of the channel, we are big fans of the game.
Yeah.
And that hasn't changed. It is still a great game. I do think that everyone should at least give it a shot, without going too much into recommendation territory, because that comes later. But it felt like I guess the best way to put it is it felt like coming home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Warframe, I think at this point, if there's any MMOs out there, any online games that I've put time into, I mean, like, obviously I put a lot of time in like Phantasy Star Universe and Phantasy Star Online. So obviously it makes sense that I'm into this, but I think this is kind of the king of them now, in my opinion. This is the one I always come back to. And one thing I was telling you the other day is every time I come back to Warframe, and this is not just for free-to-play games or MMOs, this is for games in general. Every time I come back to Warframe with enough time in between the last time I played it, the game has gotten better. The game is more fun than it was. So the game is always growing in the best way possible. DE is so full of ideas and ambition and like just wanting to make a dope ass game. And they do it. And that I'm reminded of that every time I come back to Warframe, because like I came back to it this time. And at first I had the whole like, oh shit, here we go again. I got to figure out everything. And it used to be really bad when I first started playing the game years ago, because I'd come back and I'd like forget the modding system and stuff. And that was always kind of detrimental, I know, to a lot of people. They'd be like, I forgot how to do all this stuff. But I've been playing the game for so long now. That's all, like riding a bike. I don't forget that. But all the stuff that they've just been like in the last like 2 years, just like hustling into the fucking game and growing this game. I'm like, what's new now? Like, I don't even know where to go, where to start. So I start simple, and I, looked at some of the frames I have that weren't fully leveled, and I started working on them. And then I went back to some of the missions that I haven't completed, kind of like what you were doing. I also did the Octavia quest. I think I did the Glass Gambit, whatever the hell it's called, a while ago, because I didn't have that available to do. I think I knocked out like 7 missions, which is awesome. I got a lot done. I think I only have one left. I think maybe 2.
I have 2 left, minus the bugged one.
I need to do Inaros, and I need to do whatever storyline mission after War Within, because I think that's what that is.
What, Chains of Horror?
Yeah,
that's a frame quest. It's for the.
So how do you get the newest storyline mission?
I think you have to do that first.
Okay.
So it's a stepping stone.
Because it really emphasizes you need to have storyline done to do this. So it makes sense. Yeah. Because that's what I want to get to. But anyway, hopping back in, doing that, which is great. And then like I'm just kind of catching up on the lore. I want to get like 2 where the story's at now, because I feel like I'm kind of left behind. I didn't dabble too much in the focus stuff, just because I feel kind of lost there after everything happened. So I need to watch a video or something and go back and just kind of understand how things work now, because I feel kind of lost there. But yeah, I also, like I said, I've been leveling some of my Warframes. Oh god, Gara, is that the glass chick? Pretty sure. I leveled her max level. I did not form her though.
Korra?
No, Korra's the newest one.
Oh yeah.
But she's okay. Not a big fan of her, but I do like that she has like a shield move that she can cast to other people as well. Because there's a lot of frames that already have like abilities to buff themselves so they don't take damage. She can actually put it on other people as well. So that's kind of a cool. I'd like to see more like team support type shit like that. Obviously, I almost said Frieza. Oh god, what's his name? The fucking
Frost.
Thank you, Frost. Fuck. Sub-Zero. He's always been kind of like one of the main, since the beginning, like supportive characters, because he can make the bubbles and everybody just runs into those, and it's the pinnacle of it. So it's cool to see other people kind of touch on that. And then I played Korra the fucking whip chick. I actually really like her. I think her moves are really straightforward, but they're really useful. I got a new gun, and I forgot what the fuck it's called.
It's the Tenno shotgun that shoots a energy ball, right?
Energy ball, yeah, that thing is stupid. Because fucking it keeps going, so it's a bullet. It's a shotgun, but the bullet keeps going, so you can shoot people really far away. But it also is big, so it hits multiple enemies when you shoot one round, and it keeps going through enemies. It's not a projectile that stops when it hits an enemy. It just keeps floating through them. So I like it a lot. It kills. I think I've already leveled that like twice now. Max leveled it, so I'm putting forms into that. And yeah, I mean, that's a lot of what I've been doing. I did a little bit on the Plains of Eidolon again. I really like that. I can't wait to see more open areas that they'll create, because that kind of took it to a whole new level of making Warframe just a huge fucking game.
It's a good way to implement a lot of stuff to do without the loading screens. It's really, really smart.
Yeah, and like it's just going. It reminds me of like what Phantasy Star Universe would have been if it came out now. Like just having like narrow ways to get places, like mission, and then an open area, and then mission, open area, and like if they keep doing that, it's gonna feel more and more like a big ass open MMO. And the best way you could do like a sci-fi multi-world MMO, because that'd be really difficult to do. But they're doing it, and it's really fucking cool. Also, the game looks better.
Oh, yeah. Fucking
it's always looking
Steve,
better.
I'm obsessed with making this game run on everything and looking as best as possible.
Yeah, because when I played Plains of Eidolon last time, months ago, it looked fine, looked great, but I played it again, and it looked more lush, and the lighting was better, and the shadows were better, and just everything. And they also, when you go there, it just puts you in the Plains of Eidolon, which I really appreciated, because before you had to start out at the landing pad and then walk in. Well, that happened to me multiple times.
Oh, did it? Yeah, Chris said I just had to go there once, and after that I could go.
Yeah, now. Okay. When it first came out, you landed there, and then you had to walk through town, then you had to wait in a room, and sometimes it would bug, and there'd be people floating in the air. I had a video of me just flying, like I was just
Supermaning.
Yeah, just Supermaning, stuck in the air because the loading fucked me up. And then I came into town, I was just flying around horizontal, and it was really bizarre looking. So now, them just throwing you in there, and if you want to go back to town and do some shit, you can. And I think it's a lot better. I still need to do stuff in town, though, because you can make weapons and stuff like that. So, I mean, like...
Yeah, I messed around with this because they'll let you preview them,
Yeah.
So they're so ugly, though.
They are, but that's one thing I like about Warframe is Warframe's not a game. The game already has a lot of things about it that are supposed to look cool.
Yeah.
But the thing that really makes the game feel more immersive is the different factions have different looks, and their weapons may be ugly because they don't
all the infested weapons and shit.
The infested weapons look very organic, but like Grineer weapons look like they're just made for the purpose of what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
They're not designed to be like aerodynamic.
And Corpus is all sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I've always really liked that because I'll get a Grineer weapon and I'm like, this thing fucking looks like shit, and I'll shoot it and it kills things. I'm like, that's the point. They just engineer shit to work. That's it, because they're just fucking metallic zombies essentially.
And it's almost like the Tenno weapons kind of go for more like they're going to take retro or for us modern day weapons, but for that time retro weapons, but like touching them up to be a little more sci-fi,
Well, yeah, because the evolution of humans and weapons like that, it's moved up to there.
Well, it's just funny, like talking about like the factions, because even like there's the Tenno weapons, there's the Corpus, Grineer, infested, and now there's the Plains of Eidolon ones, and
when all the Prime stuff all looks really regal and shit too, kind of like if you looked at like some kind of like I don't know, fucking someone higher up in like medieval times, they'd have a more regal weapon than like just some random asshole. Yeah, exactly. So, which I really dig. Everyone digs. That's why the Prime stuff keeps coming out. It's awesome. Limbo Prime looks fucking cool. It's really hard for me not to buy that, but that was $80, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to spend that much right now, but very tempting because I like Limbo, and he looks like he's out of Bloodborne.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has the Rapier, the Destraza Prime, which is really fucking cool. So yeah, I was just looking at him like, oh, he's like a golden black fucking Renaissance Bloodborne guy. Pretty dope. It's screaming to me. Yeah, but the game's awesome. And I just want to emphasize again, Warframe is like the pinnacle of fucking free-to-play games, so play it. I mean, is the most fair it can be to somebody who's coming to it. And there's a lot of people, I almost said weird people, but to me they're weird. People who want to play a free-to-play game and they don't want to spend money ever, and I get that's fine. That's why they have the system. But then they get so far into like the don't give them money. Like, why would you give them money? It's a free game. They have to make money to make the content.
Keep the game running.
Yeah, I mean, like if you don't have the money to play, that's fine. That's what everybody else is paying the money for. It keeps the game going. But the game does allow you to play and progress without spending money, which I think is awesome. That's one of the reasons why I do like to give them money, because the game is just like, outside of like oh god, the Diablo game, Path of Exile, some of the most fair and just like games made by gamers who want to just make awesome games and obviously want to make money to keep making those games, but like it doesn't feel like somebody who's just like, well, let's trick them into giving us money. How can we incentivize them to have to give us money? How can we make the game harder for them so they're just like, fuck, dude, I might as well just give them some money now. Like it never has felt like that, and I don't think it ever will. They've taken away systems that did feel like that. I mean, like they're very adamant about just making an awesome game, and it shows, because I mean they got like TennoCon now because like there's a fan base of people who just love this fucking game, and we're some of those people.
Well, it's crazy too, because like, you know, obviously the whole idea with the free to play is accessibility, gives many people in there, and then the hope is that some people will spend money.
Yep.
But it also benefits the people playing it, because if you are a person who doesn't want to spend money, and we'll use Chris as an example, he usually doesn't spend money in these games, though he's not going out of his way to be like, you shouldn't do that.
He's pretty adverse to it though.
He is, but at the same time though, like if you're that kind of player, right, and you're the free to play person, you being there is helping keep the game alive as well, because without people playing it, the other people aren't going to have people to play with, essentially.
Community,
yeah. So I mean, everyone is important.
Yeah, but they're not as valuable as people who are making sure that game exists.
I understand that, but they're keeping those people who are paying for the game in the game longer as well.
For sure. Yeah.
So.
Well, it's an ecosystem. Yeah, that's why I'm really adamant about everybody's playing the game, having fun, and not being worried about whether, well, you don't pay anything, so fucking why are you here? Or, oh, you pay money, you suck. Like that kind of stuff just kind of ruins communities.
And that's a weird mentality to have. Like, play the game
I
and
see
enjoy
it a lot,
it. Yeah, for sure. And the great thing is the game allows you to get premium content without paying for it, because you can use plat as you can trade plat to people. So
it has like a fucking a free market, laissez-faire fucking system where the platinum has come into the economy. I mean, there's an open trade in platinum, which is great because, and it's not hard. You put time in to get stuff that people want, and they'll give you money for it.
Yep.
So I mean, like it's
time versus money.
Yeah, it's not like you're grind, like, because there's some games
I don't
that
have
like
the times.
yeah. Well, there's some games that like they're like, you can get in-game currency, but you're gonna have to work, like you're gonna have to do some weird shit to get it. Like you're gonna have to do stuff for the game to get it. In this game, it's like, no, you do what everybody else is doing. You got a good roll. You got this head for whatever fucking frame. This person wants that. You can sell it to them.
Yep.
They might have plat from trades they've done, or maybe they've spent money into the game and fucking they have platinum to spend or whatever for shit. Like they can't buy that fucking piece. So like they're going to buy it from you.
Yep.
And it's a really good system. I think it's fleshed out really well. I mean, Josh, like me, I mean, like you too, spends money in the game. But also I think out of the three of us is much more willing to jump into trade. Yeah. I mean, I do it sometimes.
I've never done it.
But I also kind of just hate going like, all right, well, I want this much. I don't want to go through the whole back and forth of like, well, I don't want to give you that. I'll just be like, hey, how much is this worth? And fuck it, I'll look it up. And I'll be like, okay, I'm selling this for this. Someone, if they say yes or no, every once in a while somebody's like, I want that for half that. I'm like, nah, sorry. I don't even like doing that.
Yeah. Wrong dude.
But Josh is in there fucking, I'll touch your ass fucking this long and fucking give you the piece if you give me money.
But I mean, that system's there. So, I mean,
it's awesome. Yeah. They've done so much stuff to make that game just kind of work in every direction and make the community be able to work together to just make, I don't know, just the game just fucking works in every way. I don't have a whole lot of complaints about it, like ever. And like I said, every time I come back to it, it's just better than what it was. it's really impressive. Just like seeing a developer do that to any game. The only other developer I know that does anything similar to that is like Ubisoft. Ubisoft is a company that's pretty into changing their games up to meet a demand, which is always kind of cool to see them worry about the consumer. But DE just does it. DE is fucking Naughty Dog of fucking free to play and listening to their community. If Naughty Dog is like the best company out there for like high quality AAA games, DE is the best out there of like evolving a game to better suit their fans and consumers.
Yeah,
customers.
They're really good about listening.
Yeah,
and actually, little on topic, little off topic. You're seeing that more and more in gaming in general, which is fantastic. So,
oh yeah. There needs to be a good line between customer and the developer. And the guys who are putting the games out too, because it's an equal trade, or it should be. It's I will give you this money for this product, and you'll make that product and get my money or whatever. And as long as there's a transparency there and a willingness to, the artists making what they want to make, but also customers not feeling cheated by what they're spending their money on. I mean, that's great. And so games that are kind of like over time modular in what they are, like Warframe, it's nice to see that they didn't just go like, wow, it's done. People are giving us money. We can kind of sit back now. Like they're still just like, let's fucking make this. Like this game started out as like you're running down fucking hallways shooting shit. And now you can go run around in an open area and do fucking side quests all over the place and build your own weapons and do all this crazy shit. What else can we do to this game? And it's just really fucking cool. I keep re-emphasizing that point, but I have like the utmost respect for DE with what they've done with Warframe, especially as a person who has played their prior games and not even just Dark Sector, but like fucking Pariah on Xbox and shit. I mean, like seeing where they've come from is insane, and I liked Pariah.
Well, and I haven't heard about it in a while now, but they were working on a competitive shooter, and I got into the
and never told me
the beta for that, and hopefully it's improved.
Stick with Warframe, or just make a mode in Warframe for that.
Well, I mean, they opened up a second company, so or a second office.
I'd love to see growth, but at the same time,
detract from
Warframe's so good that like don't get too ambitious. You're already ambitious enough, but don't just let the fucking game continue to do what it does and thrive. Let's because we do this all day, unless there's more you want to talk about in anything. And there's something you wanted to hear us talk about in Warframe, let us know, because there's just so much to talk about in that game. We're trying to just touch on our experience right now. So yeah, and if you have suggestions for us on what we should be doing in Warframe, let us know, because me and Chevy are a little lost right now. So let us know where we should be and what we should be doing in the comments.
The main focus, I think, is to get all the quest stuff done so we can be co-op storyline, because I think
that's what I'm doing.
I think as of recording this, the next major storyline thing is actually insert for console.
Yeah, that's why I've been knocking out the missions, and like I said, I got like 7 of them done. So like I'm ready to go. But yeah, let's go into recommendations. I'm gonna start this one just by saying I think everybody should play this game. 100%. I think everybody should try this game. Even if you're primarily kind of just like a sports dude, or like you're only into racing games or fighting games, I think a fighting game person would like this game because there's melee combat. If you're into sports, you might like the fucking intense nature of like the movement in the game and the different game types that might feel similar. There is competitive modes, but I mean, like the game is so open in what you're able to do and so well made and forever just like growing and what it offers, that I feel like there's something there for everyone, unless you're really opposed to just having too much content, or the modding system is confusing, even though there is an auto mod button that I do. People tell people not to use it. I tell people who are confused right now to use it, just to fucking skip over so you don't get overwhelmed, because I want them to stay. I've seen too many people go, I don't get the mods, and they stop playing. And that sucks. But yeah, I do think almost everybody can play this game, and you can because it's free, and enjoy it. Especially if you're playing with friends. This game is it can be a really intense game, but also can be a really casual game, depending on what you're doing. And it's always just a fun time. It's like I said, you can play this game really passively, or you can get into some really intense combat and and really have to work with your team to survive. And that's one thing I love about it. I could play this game at any time, regardless of my mood.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it is something that can be recommended to anyone. There's going to be very few exceptions in there. I think that the game offers just a fun experience. Most people, are into action games or shooters, or like you said, even melee, because you can run around melee build only if you want to. You
don't have to use guns.
Do stealth. You can do guns blazing. You can do, if you're more of a rifle guy, a shotgun guy, a rock, crazy explosive weapons that can kill yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all in this game. The variety in frames alone really kind of caters to play styles. So you can, I still to this day, I'm just a huge Nyx fan. I love the way she plays. There are other frames I like playing, but I always gravitate back towards her because it just fits the way I play games. Mm-hmm. So it's there. Like, you can find one and essentially just be like, this is, my play style, and go through the game. It has casual content. It has hardcore content. And, the only thing I think that might be a difficulty besides mods is the game, even though they've gotten much, much, much better at it, it still has this weird point of entry that can be really confusing and overwhelming for new players. They just haven't really nailed that tutorial to get into Warframe thing yet. So
they have made huge improvements though, because I remember on PC I played, and there's an actual storyline tutorial now. You need to pick a weapon and shit in the beginning, and it's a lot more fleshed out. But yeah, getting to know, I'd be curious to start over again on something else, not my PS4, just to see what it is like to start on one planet and move from there from now on. Because we played way before any of that was even conceived. You just went wherever the fuck you could, and you did it. And now there's certain paths to go to other planets that you have to unlock before you can leave and stuff like that. And I never had to deal with that. So it probably is a little more structured now than it used to be, but they definitely could do a little more what most games nowadays have, and just an active tutorial that's happening as you're playing. Yeah. Although they did add stuff like that, because when I was doing one of my missions, there was a section to teach you how to use one of the tools it gives you for the mission, and there was words floating in the air telling me how to do stuff for that mission.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I was like, that's good. I'm glad, because they used to not have anything like that. Mm-hmm. So the game used to be purely, I'm going to go in the forums and see what the fuck people say about this, or watch a YouTube video.
Yeah, it's definitely a play the game wiki on the side.
Yeah, absolutely. Thing, yeah, which reminds you of an MMO.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's the thing. I whenever I recommend it to people, like I said, like we both said, anybody should play this, and everybody can and should play this game. But there are certain things that I get worried about, because you gotta get over the hump, and once you get over the hump, it's smooth fucking sailing. But mod system, it's anyone who plays the game is probably hearing me say that, like, what's so difficult about it? People who just start the game really get confused on that. I've seen it happen a million times. And then, just kind of knowing what to do and why you're doing that and where to go. Once you get in the groove of crafting a lot of shit at once and having an idea of what you're doing, that's, like I said, that's the sweet spot. But before that, when you're trying to figure that out, it can be a lot to try and figure out.
For sure.
So, but you should still play it. You should still try and get over those humps, because it's completely worth it, and it's free. Yeah. Anything else?
No. I mean,
everybody should play it.
Yeah.
Really easy.
At the very least, to give it a chance, because there really is just a lot of game there, a lot to offer.
Oh yeah, and potential of a lot of game coming, because DE's constantly fucking updating that game.
Yep.
Yeah, let's grade it. I'm gonna jump in first. I'm gonna give it an A, a very strong A. I wanted to give it an A+, but I'm really saving that, because there's a couple games that I've played in the past that are probably given an A+, but that's very rare. So I'm going with A, just because, well, I don't have to really, that's a great grade. It's a fucking A. It's a fantastic game. It's full of content. It looks cool. It sounds cool. It's got a great storyline. It's got promise of great shit coming. It's got great stuff now. It's fun to play. It offers fucking almost all types of gameplay that you could think of when it comes to an action game. It's a fucking free to play game. So you can play it any time, whenever, it doesn't matter. It's made by awesome people, and yeah, I just love it. It's one of my favorite MMOs ever made. So yeah, I'm a real big fan of Warframe.
Well, it looks like we agree again because I was also like teetering on that A plus, but it has its problems. You know,
Yeah.
not enough to like drop its grade a whole bunch, but overall the experience is absolutely a blast. I always have fun when playing it. The game is definitely A material. So yeah, an A. I unless they do something to screw up the game in the future, I think the game still has a lot of life ahead of it.
Years.
The
Easy.
community is still growing in that game. It's
Yep.
it's funny because even when you first started playing and streaming the game the first time, it was kind of starting that rampant growth at that time.
That's where I got my first like 100-something followers on Twitch. Was people curious
now
about Warframe.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's crazy.
I got people coming all the time like, is this game worth it? I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Go play it right now. What are you watching me for?
Yeah, I we've already praised the game this entire episode, so I'm gonna kind of just keep it simple. It's an A. Go play it. It's
Easy
free.
A.
You don't ever have to spend a dime if you don't want to. If you like the game, you want to support them.
You should.
They have really good platinum sales every once in a while. Take advantage of those. So
A lot, yeah. And if you're on PS4, they have free bundles or kits randomly, which is kind of cool. So,
yep.
yeah. So let us know in the comments what do you think about Warframe. Have you played it? And if you haven't played it, why haven't you played it? What would you grade it? What's your favorite thing in Warframe? What should we be doing in Warframe? Who's your favorite Warframe or frame? And yeah, if you're curious about, because Chris picked this game, and the delay of this episode has been between me being really fucking sick for a week. Chris has been kind of busy this weekend. Chevy's been a little busy, and so we finally did this. Chris is still busy, but I do want to get his opinion on this. So in a Tasty Cast, we'll be asking him his impressions and his grade as well, because he picked the game. I don't think it's right for him not to have a say on it.
For sure.
But yeah, let us know in the comments everything you're thinking about when it comes to Warframe. That's going to do it for this episode of Game of the Month for June. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check me out on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Make sure to hit the notification button to know when I go live. And my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And we're on Discord. So go down to the description box and click that link. And we're also, wherever you listen to podcasts at, we're on there too, down in the description box. And until the next episode, did I ever say my name?
We did.
Yeah. Have a good night, week, and take it easy, guys.